Today, we talk about
burning myself out. So fuck it, man. I'm gonna keep it raw.
Right.
And the content just started becoming more fluid, a lot better, more fans, more followers. Just everything kind of picked up. So I just keep it simple now. No, nothing fancy. But yeah, welcome back. Starting again to forget what episode we're on because now I'm getting backloaded. I want to say this is 31, 30 something.
We'll edit that in later.
Yeah. But yeah, welcome two new special guests. Introduce yourself, man.
What's up, y'all? My name is Marv Glover, stand-up comedian, actor, writer, content creator, person. That's basically it. Happy to be here.
Dope.
Anhtriet, similar to comedy, just mainly hang out in New York, comedy, writer, work a day job as well, but yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. And usually how I like to do this is just have you guys kind of give your backdrop of like how you got into comedy, and then we'll just let the conversation go where it does.
Right.
But yeah, when did you start doing stand-up?
I started doing stand-up, what was it, 3 years ago? I think it was like 2016, 2017, something like that. So I was freshman year of college. I was going to school for medicine. No, I was going to school to do pre-med.
Okay.
I went to school to do pre-med. But at the time, it wasn't really like, this is what I want to do. It was just more of like, okay, this is what makes sense because I don't really know what I want to do. But I was like doing like little sketches and skits and stuff like that on YouTube and social media. Started picking up. I was like, okay, maybe comedy is more so my thing. But at the time, I didn't really want to accept it. So I was bouncing around. I was like trying to rap. That didn't work. I was trying to be a music producer. That didn't work. I tried to manage an artist. That didn't work. I started coaching like high school football. That did not work. I bounced around.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
While still doing the pre-med thing?
Oh yeah, I'm still in school.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Still in school doing all this. Mind you, like this is when I knew pre-med wasn't for me because like they always told me like if you can't pass Orgo, it's basically over for you, right? I couldn't even make it past Gen Chem. I was like,
oh damn,
exactly. Like, it was really bad.
Yeah, I fell asleep in that final. I still got 100.
Yeah, I got blessed like that. I didn't have juice like that. So finally, like I'm doing the videos, they start picking up, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Comedy is for me. But if I want to do comedy seriously, I can't just do videos. I knew stand up was like the end all be all.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's go do a mic. My first mic was at Greenwich Village Comedy Club, right there on in
McDougal.
Yeah, there you go. Did it, bombed, of course. It's my first time ever. But at the same time, like I didn't walk off stage feeling defeated. I was like, okay, no, this is where I'm supposed to be. And then from there, things just started picking up, and here I am now.
And you work at McDonald's for a little bit, right?
What? Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely did work at McDonald's for like 6 months around the time. Because when I realized I wanted to do comedy, I was like, okay, I can do this, but I got to like do it for real, like focus. So I left school because in my mind I'm like, why get a degree for something that doesn't really contribute to comedy? Started working at McDonald's. That was terrible, but it gave me my first viral video, so that was super dope. Stopped working there, and now just like comedy full time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you said you are still going to school?
No, dropped out.
Oh, at that time you were.
Yeah, I was like in my fall semester of my second year. I was like, nah, after this I'm done. And then that was it. And I was going into finals week and everything. Like, I'm not going back here. So I'm like, just randomly picking on Scantron. I'm like, I'm just trying to get through because once this is it, I'm done. And that was it, man.
Gotcha. All right. How about you, man?
So I started
Burger King? No.
No. Started really the first time I did sort of it was kind of a talent show in my high school.
Dope.
And I sort of did a medley, and I told everybody it's sort of like a pageant. So it was the mascot was the Sabres, and so it was the Mr. Sabre pageant, and so you had to do, it was similar structure to a beauty pageant where you did a talent, like Q&A, evening wear, and it was kind of a thing our school did. And so for my talent, I did sort of a medley and stuff. I told everybody I was going to read poetry, but it was really more of a stand-up skit. And so I kind of did a silly poem about high school. So that was really it. And I actually won that competition. I actually did that. And then I did Michael Jackson dance number. And this was in 2009. Before all that, he was still alive at this point. Yes, so this was just before he passed. And so...
And before the documentaries.
Before the documentaries. But stuff was known. But it just wasn't, it wasn't in the limelight. And it was still very much in taste to do something like that.
Okay.
And then, so... Didn't really do it much, but I always grew up talking smack and stuff. And then one day in college, my friend just said, you talk so much trash, you like make all these dumb jokes, why don't you try stand up?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, why don't you roast our friend at this thing? And so I wrote a bunch of roast jokes. They were all terrible. They were way too mean without any punchlines, you know.
So it was just straight disrespect.
Yeah, just very
Like your mother gonna die today.
Yeah,
That was
yes,
it.
it was actually. I did think I had that one. You look
That's
at
right.
No, so then I started. Then my first ever open mic was just before I turned 21, my junior year of college.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did okay
Okay.
because it was a more receptive mic, and it wasn't in New York. It was actually in the suburb of Chicago.
Oh, it was in New York. Go figure.
Yeah, and so there started doing it a lot, maybe 2-3 years. Very much outside of New York. It was always, because I was moving around.
Yeah, so what year was this?
So this was 2010.
2010, okay.
And so did that around the suburb of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved. I graduated. I did it at college too. I went to Indiana University. Did a lot of stuff there. There was only one club. It was very hard to get stage time there. I was lucky to get up, once every 2 weeks. And then after college, moved to Cincinnati again. Like another environment not conducive to developing and honing.
Mm-hmm.
So sort of then at this point I was doing it maybe 3-4 years, and so I kind of lost. And I stopped. I was really focused on moving to New York, and so I finally
For stand-up or for some other?
No, just for jobs and work in
Okay.
general. And then so I moved to New York. I was really focused on career, so I kind of just stopped and dropped off stand-up. And I was dating a girl at the time, and I took a pretty big break, and then started back up again, really going hard in New York, like really kind of dusting off the joke book and then the pencil. And so just last fall. And so it's just tough because a lot of times when you're new on the scene, people are like, "Oh, that was surprisingly good for somebody new that I haven't seen before." And then so they're like, "Oh, how long have you been comedy?" And then so I explain it to them, kind of, and it's just hard to say that story in a concise way. So it's
Now you can just send them this clip. You can be like,
Here's the story.
3:45 to 8:50 on this podcast, Dr. Soul.
Yeah.
Watch the video. So it's just a mixture of I just say I always equate it to I've been doing it a couple of years outside of New York, but it's just not the same training ground. It's kind of like outside New York, it's just little league soccer, Pop Warner soccer, whereas in New York, it's kind of like the Real Madrid feeder system in there. That's like if you really wanted to do this or be serious about that, really develop your skills, it's in New York or like these places like that where you get stationed.
Yeah, because technically it's almost like you've been doing this almost a decade, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but it was like a big gap, and then so it was on a. But I'm really appreciative of that gap because you experience a lot of life without the lens of comedy.
Yeah, you need that for material. Like
there you go.
When you don't have, when you're so into comedy, you try to turn everything into a joke, or like you live your life with that lens always on, always in that joke mode. So it's kind of disconnected. So I'm very, but then again, it's sort of cuts both ways. It's like, oh, I've wasted all this time, like focusing on my career that like I don't even know. It's just,
I feel like you're always going to have those thoughts, right?
Right.
But,
So.
yeah. Do you do anything outside of comedy? Like you're kind of doing this full time, essentially, right?
Yeah, basically.
So, but I mean, to me, it sounds like you're doing a lot of social media comedy mixed in with the stand-up. So like, I guess that kind of keeps your shit diverse. But
I try and spread myself out as much as possible because it's like, especially earlier on in the game, of course you're not getting booked as much and things like that. So of course you want to grind, right? You want to mic and network and all this other stuff. But with the way that comedy is set up, you still want to show people, like you try and showcase all the other talents and abilities that you have as much as you possibly can, which is what makes the social media thing dope. So I still do the videos and stuff like that. I'm also going to start a podcast, things of that nature. I don't know, just creating different things and just putting yourself in different environments. One, to create new material, and then two, also just to kind of, I don't know, give your mental like a break from stand-up. Because you want to stay on stage as much as possible, but at the same time, there is a negative in my personal opinion, just staying in stand-up for so long, because you need those experiences. You need those things outside of comedy, kind of just give yourself a peace of mind, but also, okay, that's funny, I can write a bit about that, So for me right now, like I started boxing recently.
Okay.
That was random. Yeah. Very interesting. Very, very interesting experience. What else?
Fight hecklers.
Nah. It was really for working out, but then like I was like, nah, let me actually take time to really learn, you know, the craft and things of that nature. Got a joke from that, but also like I said, just giving me a break from stand up from time to time.
Right.